Hey, what's going on, dudes and dudettes? It's Pip Surfer with another daily update for the Cowabunga system. Today's Thursday, November 19th, 2009. Hope you all have had a great day today. And I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into today's update. I got open a 15-minute and a 4-hour chart for the cable. And basically what we're going to do here is first look for our trend. So what we want to do is open up our 4-hour chart. And I'll move this back to before midnight so you can see what it looked like. You can see that the most recent trend change candle was this one, which occurred yesterday, and that was for a downtrend. Now, since that time, you can see no new trend change candles have formed. Therefore, our most recent trend stays, and that's for a downtrend. So, starting at midnight, I am only looking for short trades. Now, if I move my chart forward so you can see what happened in today's action, you can see that no new trend change candles forward. Therefore, the trend remained intact and we only looked for short trades the entire day. Okay, so pretty straightforward there. Now if I open up my 15-minute chart, I'll move this back to before midnight so you can see what it looked like. And before I start trading, I always want to take a look at my news events for the day. And you can just go to babypips.com, click on this tools tab, and it'll automatically pull up the news events for the day. Just make sure that this time zone tab is set to your correct time zone so that you have the right time. Now remember, we're just looking for news that affects either the UK or the US because that's the currency pair we're trading. And I know I say that every time, but just want to make sure for those of you that are new to these videos, and it's just a good reminder. So really we had, if you look at 4:30, we had a bunch of UK news. Just retail sales was the big one, but we also had a few others. At 8:30 we had continuing claims, and then at 10 o'clock we had the Philadelphia Fed index as well as leading indicators. So you just want to jot those times down, and you can see it's 4:30, 8:30, and 10 a.m. Eastern time for me. So really all I'm doing is just writing this on a notepad or setting an alert or an alarm just to let me know when those news events are going to come about, because I don't want to be in the market during those times because anything can happen and you want to stay out at those news events. Alright, so now that we have our news events, I can go back to my 15-minute chart, and now I'm ready to begin my day. I know I'm only looking for short trades, and I have my list of news events for the day, so now I can move forward. And so what I'm going to do is just simulate a day's action in a trading session by moving my chart forward one candle at a time. And hopefully you can see my thought process as I see what happens during the day. Just remember, each of these candles represents 15 minutes. And the first thing I want to keep an eye out for is a crossover to the downside. That will be my first alert. And you can see that I get one right here at 2:30. Now what's happening is this candle will be moving, and I can see that it's about to make a crossover, and I don't want to actually enter until the candle closes and everything is confirmed. So once it closes, I look at my indicators, see RSI is below 50, stochastics are trending down, and MACD is positive and losing value. This makes this a valid entry. So you just want to enter at the close of the candle or as close to it as possible, and that's at 66.89. Our stop's going to be at the most recent swing high, which is at 67.24, and our nearest 50 or 0 level is at 66.50. Okay, so that gives us quite a few pips of potential profit there, and so that's perfectly okay to set your target there. So now we can just let our trade ride. Remember, this is 2:30, so it closes at 2:45. Our news isn't until 4:30, so if we happen to be in the trade by that time, then we'll exit before the news event. So now I can move forward and the day continues, and you can see that my target was hit fairly quickly at 3 o'clock. My target is barely broken. At this point it's really just a waiting game if you want to wait. It's not a clear momentum breaker, so you can exit if you want. I went ahead and just took out my trade, got out at 66.50 right on it, because momentum was just kind of staying there. The price was just kind of hovering, the candle was just kind of hovering around that price. So I went ahead and took it, or you can hold it and just see what happens on the next candle. And you can see the next candle moved back up, but you should see, you want to go on a smaller chart and just kind of gauge the momentum and just get a feel for it. And the more, it's not really an exact science, but the more you do it, the more you'll kind of get a feel for it. So 6650 is just the area that you want to watch out for, because that's where you set your target. So just exit anywhere as close as possible to that number and you're good to go. So one trade in, one trade won. Just jot that down in the records and move forward. So we'll just continue to move the chart forward again. And here's the 430 candle, not much going on there. And here I get a crossover at 515. Now I just want to look at the indicators again. RSI's below 50. MACD is positive and losing value, but if you look at stochastics, it's still trending up. So this cancels out the signal. You don't want to enter here. Okay, simple as that. Now if I move the chart forward, you can see that the trade did go in the favor of the crossover, but again, that happens sometimes. But you know, you don't want to just push anything. You got to follow the rules, otherwise your system is pointless. So yeah, unfortunately we missed out on a good trade there, but the rules said no, so we stay out. Pretty simple. Okay, just continue to move forward. There's 830 right there, nothing really major going on. Again, we're still just looking for short trades. There's the 10 o'clock candle right there. Again, nothing really. And it's about 11:30 and there's 12, so we stopped looking for trades right there, and you can see that that was really, that one trade that we had was the only trade for the day. So that's pretty much it. And you know, now that I have a few minutes left, I'll just go to the blog and address some comments. I answered the first comment. The second was from Robun, wanting to know about the trend from yesterday's chart. Well, if you look closely, I'll open this up. The trend, at the start of the day, the trend was still up because of the recent trend change candle. This new trend change candle didn't form until the close of the candle, which was 11 a.m. Eastern time. So until 11 a.m. Eastern time hits, your last trend is still the active trend, meaning it was still this uptrend. Now until this closes and forms and validates a new trend change, then your trend is still up. Now at the close of this candle at 11 a.m. Eastern time, now your trend changes from up to down. Now from 11 a.m. Eastern time forward, now you can look for short trades. I hope that clarifies things. I know it can be confusing sometimes, but that's the whole reasoning behind that. Okay, even if this candle is forming, you know, for example, this candle opens at 7 a.m., even though it's forming and it looks like it's going to make a new trend change candle, you don't actually consider it a new trend until the candle closes. Remember, it has to close. That tells you the whole story of the candle. You can't just wait, or you can't just go on a hunch. You have to wait till that candle closes. So I hope that answers it for you. Hopefully it does. The next one is from Fantastico. Wants to know about, I took a look at this picture. Is this, I'm wondering if this is today's chart or not. If it's today's chart, then I think you saw the same thing I did, where stochastics was trending up. So by staying out, you did do it right thing. He wanted to know if he was doing the right thing by staying out because stochastics was still trending up, and that's exactly right. And if you watch this video, then you know that I did the exact same thing. So good job there, and don't feel bad about not entering. The market is full of trades. You'll always have trades. Don't try to force anything. You want to set yourself up for the best possible chance to get profits, because you don't want to just give up your money easily. As tempting as it can be, you got to play it cool. So good job there. Alright, so any other comments, feel free to post them. I'll try to answer them as best as I can, or post it in the forums and other people will help you out. But that's it for today's update. Cowabunga, dudes.